Color system, written by Daniel Hopson. Exterior, the yellow zone, Sarah's flat, afternoon. A pair of closed eyelids. They open to reveal two yellow eyes belonging to Sarah, 32, determined, assertive, her weathered face scarred. She rests on a battered chair, holding her heavily pregnant belly. Sarah adjusts her posture and gazes around. Rubble, dirty, untidy, littered with broken glass, beer cans, syringe needles. The building's in need of repair, crumbling. A sign, "Welcome to the year 3000, the yellow zone," rots on the ground. The other nearby residents of the yellow zone all have yellow eyes. They smoke, drink, inhale, and inject themselves. A sense of hopelessness. Sarah ogles to a green city in the distance. Sarah's friend, Janey, 35, comes and sits next to Sarah, cigarette in one hand, beer in the other. Sarah faces away from the smoke and continues to look to the green zone.
I bet you can't wait for that babe to pop out, huh, Sarah?
Janey, look at this place.
How many failed attempts now? You've got to give it up.
Janey removes a cracked mirror from her jacket and combs her greasy hair with her hand.
No, I can't bring her or him into a place like this.
Getting desperate, huh? You know you're wasting your time. There aren't no loopholes to get in there.
The zones are bull. The predestination stuff is bull. I mean, it's all bull. They're still up to something.
Ooh, the missing folk taken in the night story. I worry about you.
The evidence they gave was crap. They're a bunch of liars, and you know it.
Liars or not, I don't want the world to end.
They made that up.
Sarah gives a piercing stare at the green zone. Exterior, the blue zone, construction site. Oliver, 30s, blue-eyed, high-vis jacket on, wipes his brow with his muscular arms. He stands at the top of a mound of dirt, eyeing the green zone. The dusty construction site full of high-vis jackets, board workers, work on the enormous site, digging, moving dirt. Thousands of four-wheeled manual-operated diggers work across the site. Thousands of spades, toolboxes, hammers in a huge storage area to one side. Oliver descends the ladder.
Lunchtime, boys.
Oliver pats his workers on the back, thoughtlessly, as they go in for lunch. But he doesn't take his eye away from the green city. His face loaded with sadness, then fear, then wrath. Interior, the red zone, office block 1642, main office. Much more orderly and tidier than the yellow zone. The busy office environment full of chatter and sudden outbursts of anger from one man punching the printer for not working properly to a female removing a plant from its pot and kicking it. Karen, 40s, on the phone, her red eyes like the rest of the office. She slams down the phone.
Idiots!
She puffs and throws herself onto an office sofa. Her eyes study the green zone in the near distance, but her glare becomes distracted. Just outside the main office, two individuals argue loudly, unheard by Karen, but watch as they fist fight. Her nostrils flare and she storms to them. Exterior, the green zone, the city. A polar opposite to the yellow zone. Pristine, tidy, orderly, high-tech. Robots stride in harmony with green-eyed suited humans. The people here have purpose. A sign, "Welcome to the year 3000, the green zone," stands tall, flashing and animated as a robot polishes it. Interior, the green zone, Destiny Towers, lab. Charles, 50s, smart, horn-rimmed glasses, looked through a microscope at a sample. Marie, intelligent, waits eagerly. The enormous lab filled with vials, tech gadgets, monitors displaying live footage of the other zones, and human bodies who have had their eyes removed lay on tables.
Anything, Charles?
Charles regards Mary.
No, Marie. I thought we were getting close.
Marie's face turns very grim.
It's inevitable.
Charles duplicates Marie's expression.
It appears to be a paradox, ironically, of our past's making.
Marie and Charles look up at the monitors. Interior, the yellow zone. Sarah's flat. A pair of closed eyelids. They open to uncover a pair of yellow eyes that suddenly flicker from blue to red to green and then back to yellow. Sarah doesn't realize this. Her flat is filled with stacks of newspapers, articles, robotic junk, and a timeline before and up to the year 3000. She ponders, takes from her pocket a piece of very old, battered and stained paper. She unfolds it to uncover a map of the 4 zones filled with annotations. She scans the map. Her eyes spark from yellow to blue to red to green to yellow. She runs her finger along the green zone to the blue zone, into the red zone, and then stops. She views a section of the map that has no annotations. She presses her finger hard down on a specific spot and then moves her finger along into the green city and stops at Destiny Towers and a small icon that displays a lab. Sarah carefully hurries downstairs and outside. Exterior, the yellow zone, Sarah's flat. At Janey's feet, countless cigarette stubs. Sarah appears with the map. Janey drops her cigarettes and can of beer in shock.
Am I high right now, or are your eyes flexing?
Sarah's eyes continue to dance through the varying colours.
What?
Janey grabs her cracked mirror and shows Sarah.
It's time.
Sarah studies the map and then glares at the green zone.
It's time.
Janey, excited by the change in Sarah's appearance, joins in, banging her can of beer against a rusty car.
Wake up, you lazy scumbags, it's time!
Sarah and Janey lead a march and gain followers as they head to the blue zone, ignoring the sign that states, "Warning, keep out, stay in your faction." Interior, the green zone, Destiny Towers lab. Marie and Charles type up reports on their computers. From the speakers, a beep sounds for an announcement, the voice of a slow-speaking, creepy robot.
Charles, Marie, I sense more than the unusual activity coming from the blue zone.
Charles and Marie give one another grievous gazes. They stand and survey the monitors behind them. On the screen, Sarah marches across the blue zone's construction site. Oliver and his workforce join her, grabbing spades and hammers and giving them to the yellow zone people.
It's happening then.
She must have found it.
Interior, the red zone. Office block 1642, main office. Karen reviews a report, but drops it as she notices an enormous marching crowd outside. She jumps to her feet.
It's time. Let's go.
Karen rushes outside, along with hundreds of her colleagues. Exterior, the red zone. Sarah stops and consults her map. She then looks around at the grass in front of her, and then grabs a spade and gently presses it against the grass. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
She steps aside as the construction workers from the blue zone move into action. Whack, crack, whack, crack. Pfft. A doorway opens up, sending grass and mud up into the sky. Sarah descends. Interior, the green zone, the city. Suited workers stride about their day or sit enjoying an expensive lunch as they gaze at the peaceful and beautiful lifestyle they have with clean air, beautiful scenery, and a doorway opens from below, sending concrete into the sky. Thousands of individuals exit the doorway, their eyes flashing from yellow to blue to red to green. They prepare to fight with their spades and hammers as city guards and city robots gear up to defend. Sarah, surrounded by the tough and muscular construction workers, makes way for Destiny Towers. Interior, the green zone, Destiny Towers. Charles and Marie cannot take their eyes off the monitors as havoc breaks loose.
He makes it to the lift. That means...
Charles gently nods, and tears brew in Marie's eyes, devastated. Exterior, the Green Zone, Destiny Towers. Hundreds of city guards surround the entrance. The city guards fight back with their batons, but are outnumbered by the other factions. A pathway for Sarah to enter into the building, now wielding a hammer. Interior, the Green Zone, Destiny Towers. Sarah enters, but stops in pain. She puts a hand to her belly. Her face relaxes and then continues on. She reaches the lift. It arrives at once. Lift. She enters and presses a button for the top floor. The lift shoots up. Side lab. Charles and Marie, with large fume face masks, hold from either side a giant high-tech incubator and wheel it towards the lab. Lift. Sarah, prepared with her hammer for the door to open.
Sarah, you have been warned before. It will not work.
Sarah smashes the speaker with her hammer, and the lift opens to the lab. Sarah enters. At once she notices the eye-removed bodies on the table and starts to smash the lab to pieces madly. Beep.
Self-destruction beginning. 1 minute.
Sarah eyes widen and she laughs wildly. Charles and Marie arrive with the incubator. Sarah coughs, chokes, and is about to throw the hammer at Charles, but she drops to the floor, dead. Behind her, the robot, tall, green eyes, menacing, withdraws a bloody, long, sharp blade from where Sarah's head had been back into its socket.
Self-destruction. 30 seconds. Prepare the schematics. Nice knowing you both.
The robot reveals another knife and performs a crisp, very accurate cesarean section on Sarah and cuts the umbilical cord. The robot gently picks up the motionless baby and places it in the incubator, wrapping it in a blanket. He presses different buttons, creating numerous layers of protection. The final incubator door encloses. Charles and Marie hurry over to the robot with a memory card. Their eyes are flickering from green to red to blue to yellow. The robot touches its midriff and a large hatch opens. Marie and Charles together place the schematics inside, and the hatch hisses shut.
Self-destruction beginning.
Sarah, Charles, Marie, and the robot melt from the heat and turn into liquid form. Within seconds, the building and lab is gone. There only remains a black box-looking object from where the robot had been and the incubator. Exterior from above. Throughout the 4 factions, fire and explosions. Interior, incubator. 2 weeks later. A pair of closed eyelids belonging to a baby girl. They open to reveal varying colors. No divisions, equally mixed. A swirl of attractive yellow, beautiful blue, radiant red, and bright green. The end.